Hello horror fans and welcome back to the scariest channel on YouTube, Top 5 Scary Videos, the place where our very lifeblood is the fascination with the weird, the wonderful and the bizarre, cobbled together into a nice neat top 5 video list. What's going on guys? As per usual, I'll be your spirit guide Jack Finch as we set out into the deep dark wood, stumble through the thorny thicket and gasp in horror at what lurks within the darkness as we take a look at the top 5 scary things captured on camera in the woods. Roll the clip. It's no big secret that the woods harbour some pretty terrifying occurrences. It goes with the territory really, you know, considering that for thousands of years humanity has retreated into the secrecy and shelter of the wilderness as a means to hide their intentions from the prying eyes of society. As children we know that in all likelihood there's a crafty woods witch lurking deep within the forest. As adults we know that perhaps something even more sinister lies waiting. Well, let's take a look, shall we? Before we do that though folks, you know how it is by now. If you're a fan of this video, the mystery of the wild or just top 5 scary videos in general, then please be a dear and hit that thumbs up button as well as that subscribe bell so you can stay up to date with our latest and greatest horror uploads. If you'd like to get in touch with myself or the creative team here at Top 5 Scary Videos, make sure to take a peek at the info box down below. On with the show. Kicking off at number 5, spiders in Dallas. And if you're an arachnophobe, make sure to look away now because this one's going to get a little bit hairy. Picture this, an entire forest covered in a thick, enormous spider's web. Back in 2007, residents of Dallas, Texas were horrified to find something lurking in a nearby forest. It was pretty uncanny timing really, considering that it was Labor Day weekend and this particular attraction unwittingly attracted over 3,000 visitors. Initially it was thought that the web had been created by a gigantic species of spider that had yet to be discovered, but it was actually found to be a blanket of many webs created by millions of tiny spiders that had infested the forest. Eventually scientists discovered that the web was created by 11 different species of spider, the most prevalent being the Guatemalan long-jawed spider, which already sounds terrifying enough. It was discovered that this gigantic web was the result of a mass dispersal event, millions of tiny spiders floating through the atmosphere to ride air currents following an unusually wet summer. I don't know what's more terrifying, the thought of a floating cloud of spiders or the thought of taking a stroll in the woods and getting caught up in Aragog's literal summer house. Coming in at number 4, the Patterson Gimlin footage. Perhaps one of the most divisive pieces of paranormal footage ever captured, which has resulted in decades worth of authentication and debunk attempts and held up as the most important piece of evidence for believers of Bigfoot. The Patterson Gimlin tape, captured way back when in 1967 by Roger Patterson and Robert Gimlin, appears to show clear footage of a large ape-like creature covered in hair and startled by 2 men. Bigfoot. The footage was filmed in Northern California alongside Bluff Creek, a tributary of the Klamath River near a remote logging road. For decades the exact location of the site was considered lost, overgrown with dense foliage, but was rediscovered in 2011 and is held as a sacred site by Bigfoot enthusiasts across the planet. As the story goes, Patterson and Gimlin were riding their horses through the dense forest when they came upon the creek and startled the creature as it crouched by the water. I mean, it's pretty clear footage, and as I see it, it's either an elaborate hoax or a person in a costume, or it's actual definitive evidence of a species that lives out in the wilderness. I don't know. What do you guys think? Next up at number 3, an injured rock climber. Now this story is insane. Back in 2014, 2 hikers, Brendan Vega and Sailor Williams, headed along a trail in Santa Barbara, California, but their inexperience soon showed and the rocky terrain was much more treacherous than they'd planned for. As it was getting dark, they tried to find a way back to their car, but in a turn of panic, Williams fractured her left leg when jumping from a rock. Things quickly got worse. Their cell phones were dead, they hadn't brought flashlights, and a pitch black evening was quickly descending. Vega tried to carry his injured companion, but he fell, shattered his glasses, breaking his elbow and breaking her ankle. It was a literal nightmare, and the pair planned for Williams to stay put while Vega went to get help. he was never seen again. Williams lay in agony throughout the night, screaming until her lungs gave out. No one answered her cries, that is until the next morning when 3 other hikers stumbled upon the scene. They didn't know it at the time, but as they snapped some pictures of the beautiful scenery, they had actually photographed Williams' bright red hair as she lay silent in agony. And then they saw her delirious, tucked away behind a rock. Thankfully, in a crazy turn of events, they managed to save Williams' life. If it wasn't for her dyed hair, they may have never noticed her. Swinging in at number 2, evidence in a missing persons case. And this really is a deeply tragic case that is still shrouded in mystery to this day. In 2014, 2 Dutch students, Chris Kremers and Lisanne Froon, set out on a hike out in the deep jungle of Panama and were tragically never seen again. After not returning to the family they were staying with, the family began searching the areas around their home but found no sign of the girls. After contacting the authorities, an aerial search of the forest as well as a foot search with the help of local residents went underway. The Dutch police soon joined the investigation, but after 10 days of solid searching, there was no sign of the girls. After 10 weeks, the authorities slowed down their efforts, which is when a local woman came forward with a blue backpack that belonged to one of the girls. Inside, amongst other things, were both of the girls' cell phones, which contained several mysterious images of their last known location. It is theorized that the images captured on camera were taken to utilize the phone's flash feature in an attempt to light their path in the darkness. 2 months later, the girls' remains were discovered, but it raised more questions than it did answers. Some of the bones were blindingly white, as if they had been bleached, and they had no marks to suggest signs of trauma. Whatever happened to these girls, we may never know, yet it remains to be a tragic story of the dangers of the wilderness. And finally, at our number 1 spot, Squamish, British Columbia.
Snowland, like it's no big deal. I don't.
And god damn it, real or fake, I just absolutely love this video. I'm not saying it's necessarily proof of the existence of the Sasquatch, but the fact that no human can move that fast uphill while walking through 3 feet of snow is pretty damn startling. Back in 2014, Miles Lamont was hiking through Squamish, British Columbia, while he and a friend camped at the side of the Tantalus mountain range. There, they captured a large bipedal figure 7,000 feet below them, making its way across the low ravine. Granted, the skeptics in all of us could find an explanation for this video, the easiest being, it's just an elaborate prank, or it's a lost hiker who just so happens to be incredibly physically fit and able to cover difficult terrain in unusually quick fashion. You see, the fact that the creator of this video is skeptical from the off, yet still accepts the conclusion that this may be evidence of an undiscovered species, is pretty telling in itself. I'm not saying it's Bigfoot, but there's no denying that something doesn't quite add up in this video. Well, what do you guys think? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Unfortunately folks, that's all we've got time for in today's video. Cheers for sticking around all the way to the end. If you were a fan of this video, please make sure to leave us a thumbs up and ding that subscribe bell so you can stay up to date with our latest and greatest uploads. To carry on with your horror binge, feel free to hit that playlist floating shortly above. As always, I've been your host Jack Finch, you've been watching Top 5 Scary Videos, and until next time, you take it easy.